In tonight's You Ask, We Investigate report, a charge on a Palm Springs restaurant bill has sparked debate. Now, that charge is called Healthy California Tax, and it goes towards employee health care. But not all customers are excited about paying that new fee. Our Olivia Sandusky joins us live from downtown Palm Springs with more on this Healthy California Tax. Tell us about it, Olivia.
Well, Gino, surprisingly, only about 10 to 20% of restaurant staffs have health insurance from their employers. So the owners here at Stout Burgers and Beers say they want to change that statistic. And while that tax that you mentioned could be surprising to some people who get their bill, the owner says he believes it's the best thing to keep his staff covered.
I'm not sure I'd support something like that, you know?
A tax on a local restaurant bill sparks controversy in Palm Springs. Stout Burgers and Beers charges customers 3.5% to pay for their staff's health care. And the owner says it's necessary.
This was kind of a way for us to say, hey, we're concerned about you. We want you to think about this as a profession, and we want to give back and provide the most fundamental thing that you could, which is healthcare.
The charge has been seen in San Francisco and some Los Angeles restaurants. And Charles says it's a way to ensure that all employees receive medical benefits, especially during critical times like the pandemic.
If we didn't know before, we're truly acutely aware now of how important healthcare is.
While the tax is becoming more common, other Valley restaurant owners say they weren't aware of it and don't plan to add it to their bill.
We would just as soon absorb the costs or find creative ways to increase revenue, or at last resort, you redesign your menu or redesign what you're serving.
And while some social media users support the fee, saying they'd gladly pay it, a few Palm Springs visitors weren't in favor of the new addition.
Well, the restaurants have to make the income some way to pay for that. But I'm not so sure it should be passed on directly onto the customers.
Charles says he understands some customers may be surprised by the charge, but he feels it's worth it.
It's a fundamental issue that has to be addressed. And if we can address that as owners and operators of restaurants, then we will deal with the negative implications that come along with it.
And the owner here at Stout Burgers and Beers tells me he believes that this is the best option for their restaurant because as opposed to just raising the prices on a few menu items, this gives the customers some transparency and they know exactly what their money's going towards. Reporting live for NBC Palm Springs, I'm Olivia Sandusky.
All right, thank you, Olivia. Restaurant business, tough business any way you look at it. And remember, if you have a story or an idea you'd like us to look into, email us at news@nbcpalmsprings.com.